acquisitions or business acquisitions can be the fastest way to actually grow your business. But it's also considerably dangerous, and you only generally hear the good stories. A significant amount of acquisitions and mergers do fail. Bruno here. I help people with their exits, either immediately or through a planned exit strategy. But I've been getting a lot of inquiries in regard to acquisitions. So I'm going to give you some general principles and ideas and considerations. It's not meant to take the place of specific professional advice, but to just give you some basic roadmap and ideas. Uh, Please excuse this presentation. It is at my home office. It's late at night, but I needed to get some information online because I did have a call today with a person inquiring, and I wanted to get them something to help them with straight away. Now, the first bit of advice I'd like to give is not to stop the acquisition, but your acquisition should actually be a planned process. It should be something that has a timeline, a strategic timeline in your business, something that's planned and organised and structured and allowed for financially and people workers capacity wise. Um, that's what it should be. But the fact that you're listening to this video is probably an acquisition has just fallen across your path, and you're looking at it basically. But what I want you to do is, okay, have a look at it and see whether it is an opportunity. But after this, ideally, if you're going to go down the acquisition of businesses track, it should be something that is a decision is made. That's what you're going to do, and then plan it out. Um, that's my biggest tip that I could offer you. When you're actually buying something or looking at it, there should be some sort of X factor of why you're buying this. You're not just buying it because it will slot into your business, but there's some extra reason that'll make it more valuable to your business. Now, that X factor might be the case of, in regard to the person I was talking to earlier today, they were a manufacturer and they were buying a contractor. So if they do purchase it, as soon as they purchase it and they deliver that same product, then their margins would be double or certainly increased of what they would be of that particular business by itself. So that makes sense and is an added factor why that purchase would be attractive to them. A lot of larger organisations and listed companies buy smaller of same type industry businesses because the value of the big business has a larger multiplier than the smaller business, especially if they're going to end up selling the larger business. What I mean by that is, let's say the business they buy has a 6 times multiplier. 6 times their profit is the value of their business. But the larger entity, the value of the multiplier for that business is 12. 12 times the profit equals the value of their business. So effectively, as soon as they purchase that, they've not only purchased at the value of the business, but it's actually automatically grown in value because now it's part of the larger organisation. Another company another X factor and reason why you might buy a business is because the customers within your organisation now might be able to, they can be customers for this new product or service in this business, and the same thing that this product or service can now feed into your customers too. So that's another reason that makes it a purchase attractive. The size, what would be an ideal size of a purchase or an acquisition? Well, the general rule coming out of the United States, or the sweet spot that they recommend, the experts recommend, is around about 5 to 20%. Why that? Well, anything below 5%, well, it's not really worth the time and the hassle to even, consider inquiring it. Anything above 20%, well, then you run the risk of integration challenges, whether that be culture, logistics, labour, finances. If it is a mistake, hopefully your business can manage a 20% 20% challenge. But if it's say if it's a half the size of your business, or 50%, could your business manage a 50% challenge, or would that like send your business under? Which brings me to another important factor: risk. Baron, it is a risk you're taking. It might look like a great opportunity, but I imagine if you're watching this, you have an existing good business that's looking after you and a whole bunch of employers and maybe some family members, and you're making some profit on the side. Um, you want to make sure that organisation is protected, um, and this new entity that you're looking at purchasing, it is a risk. So be aware of that, and then de-risk as much as you possibly can. Now, there are ways to do that in the actual acquisition, but that's another video. I can point some things out. Also, be wary of shiny objects. Business people, entrepreneurs had the challenge with, what's next? That looks interesting. Be careful of that. If it's a good opportunity, then follow it, but avoid shiny objects. And also anything that is of distance from you if you are the main person within the business. Bear in mind that if you live in one city and you're purchasing something far away and there's something that goes wrong with it, you might have to be the person that actually goes there to fix it. And that's a challenge in itself. But what if you can't go there and fix it? Or what if you don't feel like going there and fixing it? There's careful of distance. Let me give you some examples of some experiences that I've had with my clients. I had one particular business recommended to me, a service industry, and they were offered, a company was offered to them to purchase it. Just came across their desk, but the person reached out to me, and I quickly learned that the organisation, the owner of the company, their organisation was in a bit of flux and change, and was not in a solid position. So without even seeing the figures or anything like that, I did err on the side of caution and advise the person not to proceed. Purely because if you're going to purchase something, you want to purchase it from a position of strength, a solid position, a grounded position, not when you're going through chaos, because the acquisition is chaos. So if your organisation is chaos, the acquisition is naturally chaos, and then potentially you're buying another organisation that is a bit chaotic. Well, it's a recipe for disaster. Be solid before you move forward. Then I had this. I actually helped out a gentleman sell a business, and they were in the specialist food business. And the gentleman in question had an excellent small business serving him well, making good money. He was enjoying it, good products, great service. Everything was terrific. And he looked to expand. He purchased another business, a smaller operation outside, and then changed it to his style. And for whatever reason, it just never worked for him. He had staffing challenges and other things, and he ended up having to work in that particular business, took his eye off his original business, was losing money here and not making great money here. It was just a disaster, and it affected him health-wise and mental-wise. It was just terrible. Anyway, I was brought in after that acquisition, and helped him exit out of that particular business. And now he's back running a great small one shop enterprise, which is what he is terrific at. So anyway, there's a few tips and ideas. I hope they help you make a decision. What I'll also do is I'll do another video on the actual process and the navigating through your communication to the potential seller and also the broker if they're involved, and how to some tips and ideas about that too. But I hope this helps. All the best.